is Courtney and I am from London, England, and I'm going to be hosting a session today called Notion for Executive Assistants, Master Productivity and Build a Digital Workspace that Works. So just to tell you a little bit more about me before I dive in, I've worked in support-based roles for over 10 years now, and I have a huge passion for the tech world. So I've worked in lots of tech spaces, but previously I worked for Wise, which is a fintech. And if you travel a lot, then you might use their card or have heard of them. I also love the madness of a startup world and the growth that it gives us as EAs. And I currently support founders of an energy tech startup business called Tem. I recently started shouting more and more on LinkedIn about EAs and what we do and AI and tech, and I've absolutely loved it. And getting to support other EAs, I found was a real passion for me. So this is why I've now ended up here sharing a platform called Notion, which I absolutely love and swear by. Feel free to reach out with me on LinkedIn if you have any questions. After this session, more than happy to help. Let's dive in. So what is Notion? Before we jump into a demo, Notion is an all-in-one platform which you can use for planning, collaboration, documentation, and I call it my hub. So it's my one tool that I use throughout the day. And even though my business uses other tools, they are all embedded within Notion, which means it is my one-stop shop. It is what I use for everything. It is my go-to place. And I couldn't do my job or my personal life without it, because I now use it for that also. So it is a versatile workspace, and you can combine your notes, tasks, documents, you can build databases, you can embed videos, photos, maps, everything. And it is super easily customizable and very interactive. Everything is just drag and drop. And you can visually build it however works for you. So if you really love visual, you can build it that way. If you like it to be simple, black and white, you can build it that way. You can also access your workspace from anywhere on any device. And the mobile app is really good, which doesn't always happen. But I use it when I'm traveling. I build all my travel plans into there, and I use my Notion app on the go with or without Wi-Fi. It's really, really great. And then it will just update when you get onto Wi-Fi. And yeah, every single device is really great. It is also the perfect platform for collaboration. So whether that's with your exec, with your team members, with your partner or your friends for a trip, it's also integrated with lots of good tools, such as I use Slack and G Suite the most, but you can embed any type of document. We also use Miro and Draw, which can be embedded. So there is so much that you can do with Notion. Let's dive into a demo. So let's jump into it and give you a little demo. So this is the page I have built for you guys. So I am going to show you my actual work page next. I built this just to show you what it would look like if you was going to build it not with your business. So this is a free version. The free version is amazing, which again, not always what happens with tools. But this is what I call my Bible. So this is my homepage. And as you'll see, I've split mine into 3 different areas, but you can do this in so many ways. And there are so many templates that you can Google, take ideas from people, but I like to keep it simple, visual. You can change the cover, you can play with the colors, you can play with the breakout, you can make it full width, you can make it half width, I suppose you would call it. But yeah, it is really, really good. So this is my Bible. This is where I link everything that I need to do my job. Also, like I said, my personal life. So I have embedded this into my into my daily workflow, which means the first thing I do in the morning is I come here and I open my action tracker. So I've built this to look like a Trello board because I always loved Trello, but again, it was another system, so I just built it in here. But you can set up an action tracker in many, many different ways. But this is how I like to do it. So I've done this as an example with some of the tasks that I'm working on. So I've set up an icebox. Every morning I come and look at what are the 3 things I need to do today to do waiting. So this is like my cards, similar to Trello. And within the cards, if you click them, you can pop them open and put any other information you need there. You can add deadlines, you can add notes. I like to keep it as simple as possible so I don't have to add a lot of information. If you want to add a new one, you just click down here and it appears. I just keep it with tagged on what and who. So this is for Joe and it's a project. I keep it as simple as possible. As you'll see, you can also add deadlines. So I added this to be today at 9 a.m. So when I come onto this page, it will flag here. It also pops up here as a little notification. So anything and you can just mark it as read or get rid of it when you've done it. So that's really good for not having to remember. This also works for if you're tagging any tasks for your wider team or your exec, they will get the same notifications, which means that you don't have to base them. So that's my action tracker. I also use it for projects. I use it to store all information. So this is an example of a page that I would complete for every exec that I have. So I have all their information here. I've left this blank just because I didn't want to include any of his personal information, but I can embed his passport here. I can embed any contacts for his family. I put his calendar code in. I write about what excites him, what strains him. Everything for this, for Joe, would go here, and the same for Jason. And I would do that for every exec that I have. So when it comes to projects, again, you can build this in so many ways. And when you are in Notion and you start playing with it, you'll be able to see that there is so many options because we all like to do things very differently and our brains all work differently. So you can really build it for what works for you. I've left these 2 here as an example, but this is something that I'm working on at the moment, which is TemFest, which is our bi-year company trip. And that is a project that I work on. So I also link this back into my action tracker. So there it will pull through all the tasks that I need to do within this project. But then this project is for like a deeper breakdown. So again, I've done this as an example. I've not built out everything, but I would add all of my tasks here. And again, if you open that, it tells you, it breaks down again more stages. So you can break it down as much as you want. And then on this page, it will break it down into not started yet, in progress, done. So all your information, it will give you a little graph to see how much you've done, your dates. And obviously you would build this out with all your projects. So they would link together. You would see how much time you have to do things. You would see your deadlines. You can give access to this to your execs. So it's a really good way to manage your projects and they feed back into your action tracker. Other ways that I use this is I break down my responsibilities. So again, I've pulled some into here to give you an example for Joe, Jason, and then Misk. So this I share with my execs also, so they can see everything that I'm working on. And again, if you open this, it will break down what being responsible for TemFest means and what being responsible for our leadership bi-weekly means, so that I keep this constantly updated with my execs so they can see what I'm working on, but also how my time is so spread. And if it got to the stage where I am really overrun, I can say, right, what on this list can we get rid of? Because what is the priority? So I constantly look back at this in my one-to-ones with them. And the options are endless. So if there's something here that I'm not mentioning right now, I'm pretty sure that you can build it in there. It just takes a little Google and you'll be able to find it because people do the wildest things in Notion. So I also use it to build my LinkedIn content. So this is my LinkedIn Launchpad. I've wrote about my personal brand. I've built out my 3 pillars, and this is where I drop any ideas. So if I'm, again, I've just pulled over some of from my main page to show you, but even if I'm on the train and I think, oh, that's a good idea, or if someone asks me a question, I just dump it into one of these 3 pillars as an idea. And when it comes to content planning, then I put it down into this calendar. So this one I've already got as writing. If I say, I think, oh, I want to have this one on Thursday, I drag it down, I open it up, and I can start drafting my content right there within it. I can tag it into a pillar, I can tag it into a stage, and then I would just, on the week, I would pull all my content into LinkedIn and then set it to post. And again, you could do this for anything. So say you have to do internal comms for your company, you can build it this exact same way. So each week, say you have to send 3 posts to your team, you can put all the topics in here, you can plan it into a calendar so you can visually see it. You can see what ones you're writing, what is just an idea, what is posted. It is really, really helpful. Or some other things. So yearly goalie tracker. Again, this is just examples. I don't even have TikTok, so I'm definitely not trying to get verified. But this is just an example that you can set your quarterly goals. Again, you can share these with your execs. So your goals feeding up here. You can do your little to-dos on how you get to do them. You can reflect. You can share that with your execs and keep yourself aligned and streamlined. And then it pulls down into so you can visually see what you have and haven't done. And then I keep my playbook here. So all of how I would manage inboxes or what tools I use, I set up myself. Some of you might have access to this because I recently shared it on LinkedIn, but my ChatGPT prompt sheet, I go in here and I pull out prompts every time I need to write something. So yeah, everything that I need and use for my job is here. And same for personal. So if you like habit trackers, you can build those in here on your main page. I have embedded a Google Money tracker that I've built. I've embedded that here, so I never have to go and find anything externally. Even though I built that externally, one day we'll move it over into Notion, but I just go and link it here. So even documents outside, they should be linked back here. So this is your true hub. You never go anywhere else. It might take you to other places, but this is your true hub and the only platform you need to check in with throughout your day. So some other examples would be a reading list, journal. This is like how I would build one of my trips. So I love to build my entire trip plan. I used to do it in a spreadsheet, but now I do it in Notion because visually I just absolutely love it. So I've only built out 3 days here, but I would build out every single day how we're traveling, how long the taxi takes, where we're staying, what we're seeing that day. And then within that, explore. You can do a little drop down and put everything else you want to do. So some tips for this is anywhere in Notion, if you hit your / button, it brings up everything you can do. So you can either just add text, if you want to add a to-do list, if you want to add headings, if you want to add a table, if you want to add a toggle list, which I absolutely love for making things look tidy. A quote. So yeah, a / anywhere brings up everything that you can do. And as you will see down here, it also has AI embedded, which is amazing, but that is for a much deeper dive into Notion. So you can also add any media, videos, that means external, anything that you want. You can add maps. So if you want to add the map for this location, so when you're there, you don't have to start Googling things, you can just press it. You can do that too. So yes, so that is how I set up my hub. If you go over here to templates, you can find loads and loads and loads of examples. So this is someone's basic to-do list. This is someone else's project list, meetings. There is so much here that you can have already built. So you don't have to build it from scratch. Nobody starts as an expert. I had no idea what I was doing and I was just playing around with it. And I used templates to start. So I'm going to quickly jump over into my actual work Notion. So this is my company's Notion. I have collapsed a lot of things because obviously there's a lot of information there that I don't want to share. But this is our homepage. So this is where all of our employees go. And these are all the pages that they use. And you'll see the difference is that on the left-hand side, there is lots of team spaces. So team spaces are for all your teams to build out what they need. Everyone can have access if you choose, or you can make them private. So we've made our leadership team one private. But yeah, this is, again, what everybody uses across the business. And it's got things like our highlights, our mission, our employee directory, policies, And then it drills down into our sprints and our projects and our tasks across the business so we can all stay aligned. And it's built to a really in-depth level. And you'll see down here, private means this is my area. And again, you'll see my EA Bible is built out here. And nobody else has access to that except for me unless I share a page with them. And I just want to show you a few highlights in here. One of the things I really like is meeting notes. So every meeting that we have, you can add the notes into this calendar so everyone can see them. You add the attendees, you add any actions which will pull through into your task board. And it's a way for the whole company to stay aligned, updated, and it's really great. And then one other thing I want to quickly show you is in our leadership team area. So this is the area I built for the leadership team. And this is all the resources. So I still share a link to our Google Drive. And then I have built out the main pages, which our fellowship is what we call our bi-weekly company meeting. Our Entmoot is our bi-weekly leadership strategy meeting. And then board meetings, hiring, and our Series A documents. And this is really, really helpful for my job, because if you can see here, I can build out every agenda flow. I can tag people in their actions. So and this is our leadership team Entmoot. And again, I can tag people every single time when there's actions. I tag people, I date it, they get the notifications. And then once a week, I just go in here and I see who's done what and if I need to further chase. And it is a really helpful way of removing some of that chasing from you, but also giving everyone visibility. Yeah. So that's how I build Notion. That was a very high level, quick run through. And there is just so much to do and dive into. But what I would say is if you're ever stuck, just Google. You can literally, and I still do this sometimes. So when it came to building our data room for our Series A, I had never done that before. So I Googled Notion templates for data room and it brought up loads of options. People build templates and share them. Some are paid for, but thousands are free. So just anything that you want a template for, either look on Notion's site themselves. Here you can see just how many there is and just search for what you want. So whether it's a HR template or it's an expenses template, you search for it, it will be there. So I would say just go and start playing around with some templates, search what they have, and the more comfortable you get, you'll be able to build these things yourself for your personal or for your company. And even if so, how I would do it as a personal is I would build my homepage like I initially showed you, and I would pull everything that I need for everyone there. And yes, you can't tag your exec there if they're not using it, but it's a visible way for you to see, okay, I need to chase Joe on these 10 things. I need to chase Jason on these 2 things. And it's still creating that hub for you. And it's so visually appealing, in my opinion. And you make it work for you. So everyone likes things differently. You can build it exactly how you would want to build it. So yes, I have one more thing to show you. So I just wanted to show you, this is how it will look when you first sign up. So it will give you heaps of tips and tricks. It will already set you up with some templates and you just got to play around. You can't break anything. Everything is drag and drop. Everything starts from that slash and everything can be linked together. And you can make it as black and white as you want. You can make it as colourful as you want. You can build it for you or for your whole business. And the free version is really, really great. So give it a try. Even if you don't like it, it's free. You can, and I guarantee you will love it because I absolutely couldn't live without it. So I hope you found this session helpful. I have tried to keep it as high level as possible, but I'm happy to answer any questions. Please do reach out on LinkedIn and just give it a go and let me know your thoughts.